Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Coop's Corner Podcast. I am Coop, and it's a pleasure to have you guys all here again. Got a fantastic episode for you guys today. Last Saturday, I went to a place called Comedy Basement. It's actually a pizza place called Goldie's in Vancouver. And very first time there, and I went to go check out the show. Went to go interview a fellow comedian that you are about to listen to this awesome interview. His name is Justin O'Hearn. It was a pleasure meeting him, and I really look forward to hearing from you guys about this interview. Do have to apologize because the interview has background audience talking with everybody getting ready for the show. What happened for this episode is I tried booking or trying to go into the venue like an hour before everybody starts showing up because, you know, I like to have a nice quiet noise, a quiet scene around me while I'm interviewing people, just because we want to hear them and make it look more professional. That didn't happen in this case. went to the place about an hour early, and check this out, guys. I have to take a Greyhound bus 2 hours into Vancouver. Costs around $68 to $70 to do that for me where I am. If you book it 2 weeks in advance, it's like $45. Much more cheaper to do it that way. But this was kind of like a last minute thing where I wanted to put it together, go meet this guy, get his thoughts on the podcast. It was really fun having him on the show. So what happened is, I first of all, Greyhound, you got to get your scheduling done properly. Man, we had a 3-hour bus delay. All right, so I'm I'm waiting for my bus to show up, and after 1 hour, there was no bus that showed up. So they called the bus depot, wondering where the hell everybody is, and and so the bus apparently broke down, and it was a 2-hour delay. Then I get on my bus 2 hours later. It goes to like Langley, British Columbia, and there was another delay there where friggin' for some odd reason they had to sit and wait for somebody to pick somebody up. Dumbest reason. I don't know what's going on with Greyhound's schedule, but either way, the bus showed up 3 hours late into Vancouver. I didn't mind because I really didn't have much to do in Vancouver anyways. So we showed up around 3 o'clock. Our scheduled time to show up in Vancouver was 11:30. So so it kind of worked out for me because I didn't really have anything to do. But the people on the bus were pissed off. There was people swearing at the back of the bus like, oh, frig sakes, man. Well, you know. I wanted to be more polite when saying that, but they were always cursing out loud. But I kept my cool, and I showed up there. Went to the pizza place, asked if I can set up my equipment. They said the room is not even set up yet. So I was not allowed to go into the comedy venue. It was until it was actually like 8 o'clock when doors were open to the public. So I only had a certain amount of time to do this interview. And you know me, I have to set everything up. I've got to make sure microphone checks are good. I got to make sure everything's working. I had to rush it. So everything worked out good though, except for the background noise with all the people talking in the background. I got to find somewhere where it's like silence, you know? I've been really trying to look into Coop's Corner being able to do some kind of podcast at a university volunteer radio station or something. I think that would be good. That way I don't have to carry all my equipment around everywhere and everything breaks on me. So it was, you know, I got the chance to finally sat down with Justin, and a very funny guy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, grab a beer, grab something to drink. Check out this awesome interview I had with Justin O'Hearn, people. Ladies and gentlemen, I have comedian Justin O'Hearn with me here. Justin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Cooper.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for reaching out to me. So, I know we don't have much time before your set tonight. We're here at Goldie's Pizzeria. I think this
Pizzeria. That's an interesting way to pronounce it. Pizzeria, maybe.
Pizzeria. Maybe,
yeah. Just remember it rhymes with diarrhea.
Well, it's my first time here, and thank you so much for bringing me out here tonight. Why don't you start off by introducing yourself to my audience?
All right. I'm Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I am born and raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Oh, really?
I haven't lived there for almost a decade, though. I've been sort of off and on in Vancouver. I've been doing comedy around Vancouver for about 2 years.
2 years.
And the thing I don't like to tell people is that I'm actually about 3/4 of the way through my PhD in English at UBC. But that doesn't define me.
I've been doing a lot of research because you are a very educated man. Well, you've been at UBC for I think over 4 years now, right? Six years,
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And you've had a PhD in English.
Working on it. 3/4 of the way through.
And something that you brought up to me, you're a candidate, a PhD candidate for Victorian literature.
Yeah.
And so, also there's something else if you want to clarify that for clandestine publication. I think.
Yeah, porn.
that's much more simple.
Yeah, my thesis is on Victorian era pornography, so basically dirty books, not picture books either. They're mostly novels.
So have you just found an interest in that when you started education, or when did you actually get into that?
I started to be interested in that genre of writing when I did a master's degree at Simon Fraser, and a professor just introduced me to. I didn't know this stuff existed, but it did. It's from the period I study is from about 1850 to about 1900 in Britain, and there's loads of it, and no one's really studying it that much. So I found a sort of niche that I fit right into because it's the works are interesting. And I'm a bit of a pervert myself, so it fit really, really nicely with my interests, and I've been able to sort of go all over the world and go to conferences and do research and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I have notes here. You've done many conference presentations.
Yep.
So you've done MC shows, right?
Yeah, MC shows. Yeah.
Have you MC shows?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a show that I run with 2 other local comics.
Oh, okay.
My buddy Kyle Carpenter and my other friend Katie Nordgren, who are both amazingly hilarious comics. We run a show the 3rd Sunday of each month at Big Rock Brewery.
Big Rock Brewery.
Yeah, it's down in False Creek.
Okay.
So we just had our last show Sunday past. So today's November the 25th or something. This was November the 18th.
Awesome.
Or whatever date that was.
Is that something you want to work in comedy for goals, doing emceeing shows, or?
It's one of the things. One of the skill sets you have to have. So we take turns hosting it, the 3 of us.
Okay, cool.
And it's done really well. It's a showcase show. It's not like an open mic or something like that. We book the show. We try to book the absolute best comics around. We always have a really good headliner, and we've been doing it. This was our 6th show, our 6th monthly show, and it's just been getting sort of bigger each month. It's really, really fun. Yeah, we're stoked about it.
More notes I have on you here. You've gotten many awards. I looked up here. A travel award as well.
Yeah, not for comedy though.
No
one's ever given me money for comedy.
I wish we could get paid to travel.
I know, right? Yeah, no. Most of those awards that you would have found, they're mostly university awards and academic awards, just grants and things like that to travel to conferences and to do my research. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's just kind of how that game is played a little bit. You just have to keep applying for all these awards, so people will give you money to study pornography. That's
you keep everybody educated with the stuff you do on your website, graduable.com.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you post a lot of your stuff from school as well on there, so you just want to show everybody what you do for the work.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the PhD files I think that you uploaded in that.
Yeah.
Very, very detailed in that.
Yeah.
And are you trying to help people get into the industry more when you're doing that? Or?
That's why I started that blog, was because PhDs are stupid, and they're really an opaque process. No one knows what they're doing.
Right.
Nobody. Not even the people in charge know what they're doing. So my original plan, I haven't updated that website in a while. My original plan was I was going to document all of my different steps, because there are all these different phases you have to go through when you're doing a PhD. You have to do, in Canada at least anyway, you have to do coursework. So you take classes, then you have to write different series of papers to sort of get you to what they call the candidacy phase. And that takes about 3 to 4 years. But all those different milestones, those different steps, everyone I talked to had a different experience, and there's no sort of database of what all of these different projects look like. So my goal was to document all of that and just make it available for anyone who wanted to help demystifying the process, because it's a really, I hate it. I hate the process. I'm almost through now. I'm almost done writing my dissertation, which is the last thing that I have to do. But the whole process is just, no one seemed to have any resources on how to actually do it. So
it's good to do something different compared to other people's.
Yeah, because that was sort of my altruistic goal, and I haven't updated that website probably for 6 months. I've just been really busy with everything else. With going to school and doing comedy and teaching and other stuff that I got going on.
Very, very busy schedule. So it's great that you wanted to come on here and have the time you have.
Well, Saturday nights this is Daddy's time. Yeah.
And some other things that I looked up on you. You raised awareness for an Oscar Wilde book. Is that correct?
An alleged Oscar Wilde book.
Okay.
Yeah, a book with a very tenuous connection to Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, you were very detailed in the video I watched about it.
Yeah.
And you helped raise, I think, over $3,000.
Yeah, $3,000 on Kickstarter. So basically, the Coles Notes version of that story is that there is a book written in 1893 called Teleny. It's the first ever homosexual romance written in English language. Supposedly Oscar Wilde helped to write it. There's no good proof to say that that's the case. But that's the story. That's the myth. That's the Reader's Digest version of that story. That book's been available since 1893. There was only 250 copies printed. It is pornographic as well. 6 years later, there was a sequel. Actually, a prequel. 150 copies of that one were printed, but of all those copies, only 3 remained in the world, and they were all in private collections. None of them were available for public use or for scholars to look at, so nobody had actually studied that book at all. So one came up for sale at a Christie's auction in London, and I found it, and I decided that I needed to buy it. So I thought that raising $3,000 was going to be a very competitive offer. Turns out that the book actually went for, trying to remember,
23,000 or 16,000?
10,000 pounds is what it went for, British pounds. So I had my $3,000 was a drop in the bucket, and then UBC, I got really lots of support from UBC, and they stepped in, the library stepped in, and all sorts of other funding became available. We were able to buy it at an auction. We had to get up at 5 a.m. for the live auction in London. It was amazing. But anyway, basically what it means is that UBC is the only library in the world that holds that book, and it's available to the public.
Yes, that's the most important thing you wanted to get out. You wanted to get out to the public instead of keeping it private from people.
Yeah, and the other 2 copies are still in private collections. We don't know where they are.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So some other questions I have here. So when did you start getting into the comedy?
About 2 years ago.
Okay, and then what decided that you just wanted to do it?
Well, I wouldn't say, like, I got divorced. I wouldn't say that was the catalyst for it, but it definitely helped. Because when you get divorced, you have all this free time. So it was either go into comedy or, like, I don't know, start tooling leather belts or something at a craft fair. So I decided comedy, because you've seen those weirdos at the craft fairs. Like, you don't want to be one of those guys. So I figured comedy would be a better thing, because I've always wanted to do it. I just never had something to push me to do it. So
is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to for helping you start getting into it?
No, I did all of this by myself. Everyone else was rubbish to me.
Okay.
No. Actually, my buddy, my 2 friends, Nate Szymanski, who took, I was telling you before, I took this 4-week class to get started in comedy. at Instant Theater here. My buddy Nate had taken it before me, and that inspired me and my other friend Kyle, who runs a show with me now, decided that's awesome that Nate's doing that. We should also do that. And so we took the class in the next time it was offered. So really, my buddy Nate was the reason that I even had this notion that I would even do a class or whatever. So it was great. It was just a short 4-week class, and at the end, there's a little showcase for all your friends to come, and it's just kind of me and my buddy Kyle, we started at the same time, and we've been going strong ever since.
Is there any goals that you want to accomplish while you're in this industry?
Yeah.
Like, you want to do other shows outside of British Columbia? You want to travel somewhere?
Sure. Yeah, I would like to get paid.
Don't we all?
But I'm acutely aware of the fact that I'm not going to make a living doing this, because I can't. First of all, I can't devote my entire life to it because I have other things I have to finish before I can do that.
Right.
But if the opportunity came along, I would love to sort of try and go up levels. I don't see it happening anytime soon, so I'm happy just kind of doing what I'm doing, just running the show, getting on other shows, getting my jokes as good as they can be, and eliminating the fat out of all the jokes. So yeah, I'm just having a really good time with it.
That's fantastic. And so, besides from comedy, do you have any other hobbies that you like doing? I was trying to listen to a podcast how you were talking about Pokemon Go. I'm not sure if you're a Pokemon fan. Or...
I know what Pokemon is.
Okay.
That's about as far as I would leave it there. I've been baking a lot of bread lately.
Really?
No, honestly, yeah. I've been baking a lot of it. I'll show you some pictures later.
Awesome.
I've been trying to bake a lot. I'm obsessed with this show called The Great British Bake Off. I don't know if you know it. It's a BBC show. So it's a competition. It's a game show. And these 12 bakers, who are just normal people like you and me, Cooper, they go to a big tent and they're given baking challenges.
Okay.
And so I love that show so much. If you're out there, watch Great British Bake Off. It's amazing.
I will have to check it out now.
Yeah, and one of the hosts of the show, he's an expert bread chef or whatever the bread people are called. Bread baker, yeah. Anyway, and so I'm slowly getting through a lot of his recipes. So in the last 4 weeks, I've made probably a half dozen batches of crumpets.
Oh, nice.
I've just been making like all different shapes of white bread. I should have brought you some. I have a fresh loaf at home.
Maybe next time.
I'm so sorry, dude.
No, don't worry about it. Next time we'll definitely bring you on and we'll have a bread off.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to bake the best bread possible.
That's
it's
awesome.
a great procrastination tool. It's baking. You knead the dough, and it's so good.
Awesome. Is there anything that you want to mention on that podcast that probably people that you've never told people before? You probably have done interviews on online and podcasts. Is there something that hasn't been brought up that you want to mention to people?
I don't know, man. I don't do many of these things, but I'm flattered that you're treating me like I'm Tom Cruise or something. I'm on the media junket. I don't think so. There's I don't know. Did we mention Trump yet?
Trump?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we mentioned Trump.
Okay, we'll skip over that. I think for people who... I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. For people who think that 2016 has been the worst year ever, I got good news for them. It's not. Because Trump hasn't been president this year at all.
No.
He's not president until next year.
Right.
That's going to be the worst year.
Yeah. If they do the recount or something like that. But.
I don't know if they'll do the recount. I heard on the radio they're not going to bother doing that. Or there's some weird thing with Jill Stein. Mm-hmm. She's spearheading that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has gone off track with politics. I don't like talking about politics. But no, I can't think of anything that I want to talk about. I talked about bread. That's my thing right now.
That's awesome. I love grilling. That's one of my
grilling?
Things. Yeah,
barbecue grilling.
Yeah, barbecue grilling. I love marinades at home. So
nice.
Not very good at it though.
Do you have a smoker?
No, we don't have a smoker. We just got the barbecue in the backyard, and I just been trying to make marinades. I got my recipe book. There was an old TV show I used to watch called License to Grill.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's one of my favorite shows growing up. So I have the cookbook, and I've been trying to make marinades in that.
Nice.
One of my favorites is hot milk barbecue sauce for me.
Nice.
So that's really good.
It's my understanding that you need to get a smoker.
I probably do now.
That's what all those shows seem to indicate to me. But get a smoker.
Yeah.
You'll be happy and content.
Actually, we might have one that's just been sitting in the shed.
Oh, yeah. You have a shed?
We do have a shed. It's much bigger than Bubbles' shed from Trailer Park Boys. So I go whenever I'm too loud, I go in there to practice my material. So I'm not too loud.
Right. So you live not in Vancouver.
No, it's even got a bed in there too. So sometimes if I get too hammered with beers
So when you say we, what do you mean by we?
well, sometimes I'll get some buddies online on Skype and we'll have to make beers together.
Are you married?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm 26, so I'm still pretty young.
I got married when I was 27.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
I got divorced as well.
yes,
That's a super grown-up thing to do.
I got to get on that soon.
I've done the most grown-up things, and now here I am doing the most childish thing.
Oh,
It's amazing.
we all live.
I live my life in reverse. Yeah.
So the comedy show's probably going to start here, so it's getting a little bit noisy.
Audience is loud.
But I'm pretty
I'm
excited.
glad they're here.
I'm just looking over my notes. Do you have any upcoming shows that you want people to know about that we can try and get people to come out to attend?
I'm going to be at the Comedy Mix in Vancouver on Burrard Street on December the 6th. And that's the only thing I can think of that's coming up. And then my next show at Big Rock Brewery is December 17th.
December 17th.
Or whatever the 18th, or whatever the third Sunday of December is. I think it's the 18th.
Okay.
Yes, it's the 18th. December 18th, Big Rock Brewery, 310 West 4th Avenue.
I'll make sure I'll put in the details, everything on iTunes and everything like that. And your social media where people can get a hold of you if you want to do shows with you. You have an email, you have LinkedIn.
Yeah, I don't use LinkedIn.
I don't use LinkedIn that much either. I tried to understand how it works, but I'm extremely lazy with it.
Yeah.
I usually just use Twitter and Facebook.
I use Twitter. Twitter's my public persona.
Okay,
my public one. So I'm on Twitter.
So the easiest way is probably your Twitter account?
Yeah. I also have academia.edu.
Yes, I also wrote that down.
But I don't use that one for anything. That's just so that when people search me for my work, my PhD stuff, that's where they'll go, because that's LinkedIn, but for academic purposes,
right.
Basically. I don't update it. There's a nice picture of me on there. That's about it.
You have a few nice pictures of you.
I'm good looking.
You are a good looking man.
Your listeners probably don't know because they can't see, but all they can hear is my mellifluous voice.
We'll make sure we'll find one of your plaid.
that'd be fantastic.
The one with the red plaid on you.
Oh yeah.
We'll put that one on as the cover, and that will make sure.
Super.
So is there anything else you want to quickly brought up here? You want to thank you so much for joining the show.
Yeah, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. No,
definitely bring you back on. We'll definitely do a bread off.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll bring you a loaf of bread next time. I wasn't even thinking. I should have brought you some of my bread. I made a really nice sort of traditional white British loaf. It's so soft inside, Cooper.
Okay.
You don't even know. You don't even know.
I'm pretty excited.
But right now I'm working on shaping of the bread. So that's the big thing. Like the recipe's there. It's all good. It's just a matter of getting the shape right. That's the most important bit. But no, I'm excited for the show tonight. I'm glad you're here. And are you doing a set tonight?
No, I don't know. I just came out here just as come check you out. Come check out Susie, meet her in person.
Yeah.
And looking forward to doing another show with you. We'll have to have more time. We were short on time for this one, but I got most of my questions out of the way that I want to answer, but the lights are off, so I can't read my notes anymore.
This thing's going to get going any minute now.
All right, well, thank you so much, Justin. You probably have to get ready for your set and everything, or you can probably just sit here and chat with me more.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Well, that'll make sure I'll get drinks for us.
Awesome.
Thanks again, Justin.
Thanks, Cooper.
This, man.
All right. We shook hands just then. You couldn't see that on the radio.
What a great interview with Justin. Make sure you go check out Justin O'Hearn. Make sure you check him out on Twitter. Really funny guy, man. I had a great time meeting him. Got to see him perform set. And funny guy, man. And I'm really looking forward to bringing him on my show again. And I want to hear from all you guys. Leave a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening from iTunes and Podomac, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you go support these guys I'm going to interview them, because, man, we're just a growing family. God, I'm like, I finished like a huge beer like that, and I'm already down to here. This is what I mean about doing these podcasts, man, because it's my own thing. I'm in control. I get to do whatever I want, man. Nobody's telling me what to do. I mean, the website could take me down if I'm not being appropriate or not, but fuck him. I'm having a great time here. And yeah, my next show I'm doing is actually at that venue on December 3rd. Very excited about performing there, but at the same time, very friggin' nervous. Because, you know me, whenever I have to get ready for a set, my short-term memory kicks in, and I'm always worried before I go on stage, I might forget one of my jokes, especially if I've written new material that I try and tell on stage, and then I mess it up on stage. I'm like, damn it. So those are always concerns for me before I do a show. So December 3rd at Goldie's Pizzeria. I think that's what it's called. It's the show time is 8 o'clock. Actually, no, I think it's 9 o'clock. It's one of those. This is what happened exactly when I went to the show. I thought the show was at 8, but it's actually at 9. So make sure you go check out the show on Facebook. You can join Goldie's Pizza, and they have all their shows there. Follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow Justin O'Hearn on Twitter as well. Connect with him. Make sure you enjoyed this episode of Coop's Corner Podcast. And until next time, have a great day, eh?